are prioritizing playing in Title Tuesday. But let's instead see what Magnus is up to, because there was something wrong with the Hikaru game. And Magnus is behind on the clock. And did he just lose a pawn?
Not yet. There was a trade of bishops. It's level material. He did lose a pawn earlier, so you're right. It was the Queen's Gambit. But the Queen's Gambit isn't a real Gambit. Normally you get the pawn back. So yeah, this came from the Queen's Gambit accepted. Black has a very strong knight in the center. Outpost cannot be challenged ever by a pawn. But Magnus is going to aim to play around that using his strong pawns and his space advantage. The white pawn's very far advanced. So often the Black King comes under a bit of fire on this side of the board. Not so many defenders around it. Magnus will go for that. I wouldn't be shocked if he starts throwing Harry the H-pawn forward to try and loosen up the Black King. Early days, but he's playing against a very strong opponent here.
Isn't this Kirill Alekseenko, who's played in the Candidates tournament before? I mean, this guy's been in like the very top, and Magnus is already playing against him in the third round. So this is a tough draw for Magnus.
Yeah, someone who's rated nearly 3,000. That is elite level on chess.com. Alekseenko switched to play for Austria recently, and yeah, he was also in the World Cup. Got eliminated there early on. Can he hold this position against Magnus? It's like a dream position for Black if you can trade off the queens. But with the queens on, the Black Queen is so passive, she can't really get out into the open. No open lines for the Black's rooks either, really. It's difficult to find a plan. Magnus has a clear plan himself. This is not looking very pleasant for Alekseenko, who's burning a lot of time on the clock. We keep talking about it, but the clock is Magnus's biggest weapon.
And we saw the previous game how important the clock actually is. Because in that last position, would that be a draw otherwise?
Yeah. And if you even had just like the 1 extra second increment, you would be able to survive that position, because making the moves itself very easy. You just need a little bit of time, but without it, that kind of position actually becomes lost, which is like an extra dimension. And it also makes Magnus's win last week with 11 out of 11 even more impressive, because you have to avoid all of these kind of unlucky situations with the clock, and you have to perform really well the whole way through the tournament. So let's see if he can do it again.
Yeah, it's like we've gone back to the future or back to the past. I'm not sure which, because in the old days, they never had increment. Like electronic clocks didn't exist. It was all these old clocks that you press. I think we've all seen them in pictures. But yeah, then they added increment in the 90s, 2000s. We've just taken it away again. So we've realized that the players, they don't need that luxury. We need to test them. We need to push them to the limit. And yeah, Title Tuesday's changed. Just that 1 second increment deducted means they have to change their whole game plan. And
that was also kind of a part of incorporating chess in esports, because then it becomes much more relevant with how good you are with the mouse and with speed. And it becomes more of like something for the audience to kind of cheer for, is to look at the clocks and be like, oh my gosh, you might lose because of this. So do you consider chess an esport, Aslak? You've done a lot of streaming and played a lot of esports.
Yeah, I consider it an esport, but it has had a transition, because it hasn't always been. But because you can play it electronically, then I believe that it qualifies to be an esport. We have another forced move. Every game has a forced move.
Some tournaments we don't see it at all, en passant, and then some tournaments we see it every single round. If nobody's going to get 11 out of 11 in the tournament, at least we get 11 en passants maybe in 11 rounds.
Oh, that would be a new record.
3 out of 3 so far. And it's been played every time. It's been on offer.
Yeah.
And this does loosen up the Black King, so I think here it was a good decision for Magnus to capture en passant, to not block things up too much. And now the Black King is a bit airy. So what to do next? Maybe he'll bring his bishop forward. Looks like a very tempting move. He doesn't. He just waits. But still better for white here.
Yeah, and Magnus, he is kind of taking his time and like pushing pawns in different directions. Oh, and we get a notification that Torstein Ba is in trouble in his game. So that could be interesting. But he has 1.5 points. I'm so impressed that he managed to win against a very highly rated opponent and draw Jan Gustafsson. Like, Torstein is on a roll. So I'm looking forward to looking at his games later.
That must have increased his opponent matching as well. So that's probably why he's in trouble now.
Pretty sure I can hear him from 2 or 3 rooms away talking about his blunders, Torstein Ba, but he is facing a very, very strong Turkish Grandmaster right now. So there's, yeah, he's putting up a good fight. That's the main thing. In the meantime, in this game, a bit of maneuvering. It's a bit of an awkward stage in the game. It's like white's going back and forward, like undeveloping his knight back to its starting square. Maybe he wants to reroute it to a better circuit back towards the center. But it's become very slow this game, and the clock's leveling out. That's not necessarily good news for Magnus here. Kirill Alekseenko has put his knights on great squares. The black queen now, we talked about how she was passive earlier. She's suddenly become very, very strong. Looking like a real fight ahead.
Wow. And he managed to also, like, what was a weird king situation for him, he's managed to kind of organize his pieces in a nice way now, and he has a rook on an open file, and now it's Magnus who's making kind of defensive moves.
Yeah, it definitely feels like Magnus has not been talking so much, just judging by the camera, because he is nervous. He respects his opponent a lot. They've played each other over the board multiple times. They've had some draws, and Kirill Alekseenko is a very classy player. Okay, what will happen next?
Down to
time.
less than 2 minutes to both of them now. So it's really heating up, and they haven't traded that many pieces. Only traded a pawn and a bishop each. It's a lot of pieces to have left with only 2 minutes.
Yeah, we're going to get an answer to your question from earlier. Hashtag, is it good to have pieces on the board when you're getting low on time? And not many pieces on this board, potentially in the long term. But for now, there's enough for Magnus Carlsen, who trades off. And there we go, he's pushing forward. He's kicked away the black queen. That's why he's suddenly much, much better. And he's stepping forward. Don't try this at home, ladies and gentlemen. The kings are both weak. This could backfire badly for Magnus. But for now, he has enough control.
Well, how would you describe your playing style, Aslak? Would you like to have this kind of a situation on the board?
Yes, I like chaos. That's what I find most exciting to be a part of, and sometimes just find a move that's hidden in the depths that solves everything. That's my favorite part of playing chess.
And does Magnus have such a move? He's much better now, according to the evaluation bar, David.
Yeah, and he's going for full chaos. The pawn tension. He's allowing this pawn to drop in the center, but he wants to steamroller the pawn storm, the battery ram of these pawns now. They just look so strong. And if you remove this one, it gets replaced by an even stronger knight. That could be good knight for the black king in the corner. There's going to be all sorts of smothered mates where the black king has no breathing space, trapped around its own pieces. This does look difficult already. And Kirill Alekseenko says, okay, chaos might be what you want. I'm going to give it to you. He does take a pawn. So at least now he's pinning this white knight in the center. He's saying to Magnus, you have to checkmate me now. Otherwise, I'm going to be on top. 30 seconds for black.
He spent a lot of time now, Kirill.
Oh.
Ooh, but those pawns just too strong.
Oh, and Magnus just sacrifices, and both of the queens can be taken right now. What is going on?
The idea is that this check, black will defend his rook here. Next move, due to the fact he's hitting this king, he will be able to take the queen off the board. Magnus is winning, but this was the key move. He needed to block with his bishop. He's going to sell his queen for the highest price possible. Next move, he'll take the black rook with a check and then take the black bishop off the board. When the dust settles, Magnus should have an extra rook. But, he didn't take the right way. He could have taken with his knight. Suddenly it's messy again. Chaos was the right word.
Oh my gosh, and Magnus now down to 35 seconds. Kirill only 20. So this is going to be a little sprint right now.
Ooh, and Magnus, he moves his queen away. That was a good decision. He's going for checkmate. One move to trap that black king. One move to rule them all. And the white king now forced into the corner. More checks. 12 seconds for Alekseenko. Checks are blocked. You have to bring your rook up one square to stop the checkmates. But no. Kirill Alekseenko resigns. There would have been a checkmate either way on one of these two squares. Magnus takes the win.
That's a good game.